This is Neo Productions Entertainment here at the A3C Festival in Atlanta. I'm here with one of the performers of this year's festival. I'm gonna let him introduce himself right now.
How you doing? I'm GoldSmith from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
GoldSmith from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, all right. And what we want to ask you first is how you got your start in making hip-hop music?
I got my start in making hip-hop music from just staying in touch with the city of Pittsburgh. Like, I moved out of the city when I was in first grade, but still like held close ties there. And I wrote poetry growing up. My mom is a poet. And so I just went out to the city eventually and saw some people doing their thing, and like rap is way cooler than poetry at that age, man. So I
hear you.
Took that and I told my dad I wanted to do it, and he was like more excited for me than I was, and he like took me out and got me like a microphone and Cubase.
So would you say they were definitely supportive of it?
My parents?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. They if I have a show in Pittsburgh, they're there. Like they're at every show, man. They're at every show. I'm saying like to the point, supportive to the point where like back in high school where some like phony fraud shit happened, I thought I was gonna get signed, and we'd be out at the studio. Like I didn't have a car back then, and we'd be out at the studio, and my dad would call me and he'd say, "Hey, like, just take the car, I'll take a taxi home from work."
Call you
shit.
up for the
So,
studio.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's definitely a movement.
So I've always had incredible support from like everything, man, everybody, for real.
That's crazy. And you mentioned that, you did poetry to start off with. What would you say defines being an artist? I know, you being from Pittsburgh, it's a little bit of a rough scene. What would you say defines you as an artist?
What defines me as an artist, or what defines an artist in general?
Define us both.
Alright, well yeah, I guess it's the same answer, man. Just finding like the happy medium between what's going on in your head and how people are gonna receive it. So, because to be an artist, like you could be, but there's different types of artists. That's the thing, man. There's people that don't compromise at all, that will write a song and just like dig into the deepest aspects of their like neurological state and like not care about relating to anybody. And then there's people who get up on a track and understand that like what they're putting down still has to be digested by like a mass medium, you know what I'm saying?
I respect how you correlate the art, into what you do. That's just dope.
Yeah, of course, man. I mean, that is
being an artist.
Being an artist, yeah. Yeah, but man, just being an artist is being yourself, really, when it comes down to it, and using whatever medium that you decide is your path to like capitalize on that shit.
Okay, and I agree. Now, what would you say for you personally, you GoldSmith the artist, what is the number one thing being an artist has taught you this journey?
Being an artist has taught me like everything, man, about life, bro. Like I went to college, I went to Penn State, and I can easily say I learned more about life and like the things that really matter, like outside of academia, from hip hop, and just being able to relate to other artists and like finding myself as an artist and a person at the same time. So,
okay. Now, what would you say the correlation of who you were then to who you are now? How do you think you've evolved, grown as an artist and as a person?
Well, first of all, my rap name used to be Christo Seth.
Christo Seth. Explain that to us.
Well, really, it was just like when I decided I wanted to start rapping, like I was like, damn, I need a rap name. And my homie was just like, Christo Seth. And I was like, yeah, let's run with it. Okay. Like we used to just like freestyle for fun in the basement and shit. And like we were all like superheroes. Like there was like Christo Seth, Young Fetus, the Gunner, Nick the Kitten. Like it was just
Nick the Kitten. What was that last one?
Nick the Kitten, aka Kit Cannon.
Shout out Nick the Kitten, Kit Cannon. We got to get an interview with Kit Cannon, man.
Yeah. He was actually never mind. But what was the question?
So question was, how would you say you evolved as an artist now?
Just getting more comfortable with myself as a person, really, like and finding out what really like what my morals were and shit.
I can definitely respect that, who you are is put into the artistry. I feel like a lot of that is lost nowadays. People are trying to maintain this image or fit this gimmick. So, me being somebody who's, seen your progress, your growth, it's definitely comforting to see that, it's still real art out there, not to sound cliche. So, definitely. But do you have any shows or projects in the works coming up?
And as far as the project, like, as of recently, we just really started getting, like, any type of national exposure. And I feel like the way the industry is moving is like less towards an entire body of work. Everyone is searching for that instant gratification. So I'm really trying to just like ride out these singles now that we have that platform. Like if I make my best song, I need it out there and for people to be digesting that shit. So I'm definitely working on a project, but like that's not my main focus right now. Like the music is definitely gonna have to be there like at some point. But yeah.
Perfectionist, I can respect that. All right, well, you don't have a lot of time left, but let's see. Before we go, we want to have anything you want to say to the audience?
Yeah, just it's gonna be good to meet everybody. That's really like come up and say hi.
Making this GoldSmith year, I've seen your progress. So before we go, this is Neo Productions Entertainment. One more time, let them know who you are.
GoldSmith, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.